Welcome to Talkpoint. Today we are covering the high-stakes debt selling negotiation underway in Congress, talks that could determine whether the government aborts the shutdown and the potential fallout for markets and everyday Americans. Let's get into the details. Animated infographic explaining debt selling Treasury Department. First, a quick refresher: the debt ceiling is a legal limit set by Congress on how much the federal government can borrow to meet its existing financial obligations like Social Security payments, military salaries, and interest on the national debt. When the debt ceiling is reached, the Treasury can no longer issue new debt, risking a default unless Congress raises or suspends the limit. Failure to act could lead to a government shutdown or even a financial crisis. Congress in session, lawmakers debating new slips of key figures. As of August 2025, Congress is in tense negotiations to raise the debt ceiling ahead of a looming deadline. Republican lawmakers have pushed for spending cuts and fiscal reform as the conditions for their support, citing concerns over rising national debt. Democrats emphasize the urgency of raising the ceiling without restrictions to avoid default and highlight the need for continued investments in social programs. Key figures, including Treasury Secretary Melissa Grant and House Speaker James Cardwell, have called for a bipartisan agreement to avert economic disruption. Despite instant back and forth, no final deal has been reached, raising fears of a government shutdown as the deadline approaches. Stock market volatility, government office closure, everyday Americans. What happens if Congress fails to raise or suspend the debt ceiling? Government shutdown. Non-essential government services could be halted, impacting millions of federal employees and programs. Financial market turmoil. Credit rating agencies might downgrade US debt, leading to higher borrowing costs and market instability. Recent history shows the debt to ceiling crisis increase market volatility. Economic ripple effects. Interest rates could rise on mortgage and loans. Consumer confidence could decline and economic growth could slow. Global consequences. As US Treasury securities are a cornerstone of global finance, a default could disrupt international markets and dollar stability. Proposed bills, lawmakers speaking, public protest. To avoid this scenario, several proposals are on the table. Clean raise, a simple increase with no conditions, favored by many Democrats to prevent any disruption. Spending caps and reforms. Republicans seek enforceable caps on federal spending and reforms to entitlement programs. Bipartisan compromise. Some lawmakers advocate a middle ground combining a moderate raise with targeted fiscal reforms. Meanwhile, pressure is mounting from business groups, economists, and international allies arguing a swift resolution. Congressional clock ticking, negotiation, media coverage. The coming days will be critical. Watch for whether Congress reaches a deal before the Treasury's cash reserves run out. Statement from President and congressional leaders signaling progress and influence. Market reaction to ongoing uncertainty. Talkpoint will keep you updated on developments and what they mean for your finance and the broader economy. Thanks for turning into Talkpoint. If you found this update helpful, please like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for the latest politics and economic news. See you next time.